Hi, welcome to U.N.I.Q.U.E Parenting. I am B. Moise, and today we are going to be talking about digital parenting. And obviously, this is a topic and a subject that I'm very passionate about because I wrote a book about it. So if I wrote a book about it, it means that I'm very passionate about it. And the reason I wrote a book about how to parent in the digital age is I am actually someone who has a lot of respect for tech and understand how it needs to be treated. But I also understand that there is a lot of danger that comes with it. And over the years of doing this, I've seen parents not really put any type of boundaries or guidelines or information or rules and just kind of hand, tech over to children. And it didn't go well. And because some kids see the problem is some children did okay with tech and kind of figured out what to do and what not to do, while others just did not know how to navigate it. And it's simply because they weren't giving rules. And everything else you give your child, you give them rules with it. And with tech, it shouldn't be any different. I think of tech in similar to a car. Personally, I think a car is wonderful. It takes you to places where you need to be. But before a child can get a driver's license, they have to get a permit. Before they can get a permit, they have to log in hours. Before they can log in hours, they have to take a written test. Before they can do the written test, they have to study for it. So before a child is given a vehicle, there are a lot of precautions that are given. However, with tech, we just give it to a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old or a 10-year-old and so on without any precautions. So digital parenting is a conversation that I like to have because while I do write about tech and how to include it, I have a lot of respect for it. And I think parents should also hold the same level of respect before giving it to their kids. They also need to learn how to navigate tech on their own. Now, tech is complicated. I know there are a lot of buttons, there are a lot of things to push, and sometimes it's just frustrating, and the learning curve is not easy. But if you're going to hand something over, you should at least know the basics. You should at least know how this thing works, how it functions, and you should at least know what access your child will have. Because once they gain access to the world, there's no coming back from that, right? Like that's just the reality. So respecting tech, having an understanding of how it works. And thirdly, rules. 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 Tech need rules. Like you need to tell your kids the boundaries that exist. They need to understand when to not do it. They need to understand when to turn it off. They need to understand when it is, family time only and not everybody time. I've written so many different articles about how to do this in a productive and positive and healthy way where you're not excluding tech, but you're really showing your kid how to use it in a manner that's going to be beneficial to them. We have a couple of rules around here. Actually, we have a lot of rules. I have so many rules around tech. I think when people visit my home, they're like, I can't believe you're actually this serious about it. And, tech doesn't go in rooms. They have a resting station. They have a place where they go to bed at night, and it's not with my kids. There's time limits on things, when you can start, when it needs to be done. So there's a lot of rules around tech, but we also have no tech Thursdays, which is a day where there is no tech, right? It's a day where we learn a new skill, we do other stuff, and my kids actually enjoy no tech Thursday because there's so many things that they get into, they forget about it. And again, it's normal. It is our routine. We also have half tech Tuesday. So half tech Tuesday, no tech Thursday. And we have these things in place where they know it's going to end. Like it's not this unlimited amount of, tech day all day long. So that's really the conversation I wanted to have because, again, I write about tech a lot, and I am pro information, and I am pro safety, and I am pro, parents being, armored up with how to navigate this world that is new to most of us, if not all of us. So, and I want them to feel empowered, and I want you guys to understand that, tech can be done in a different way. It can be inclusive. it can be done where it is information seeking and not time sucking thing. So again, you're on tech right now because you're watching me. So obviously you're not anti-tech, but you need to understand how to create proper precautions. Again, I wrote a whole book about it. So pick up my book. And I have so many informations and guidelines and rules on how to do it. And what happens when kids are on tech and what happens when they're not on tech and what are those hormones and what's going on there. So it's a great book. It's a great read. I think you'll all enjoy it. But I've also written a lot of articles as well to help you navigate that same world that are shorter. And those are free. So I have free information as well as paid information on digital parenting. So in the meantime, I want you all to enjoy your unique parenting journey with your unique child.